Well, I must say it is most annoying to lose anything. I remember once at Bath, years ago, losing in the pump room an exceedingly handsome cameo bracelet that Sir John had given me. I don't think he's ever given me anything since, I'm sorry to say. He has sadly degenerated. Really, this horrid House of Commons quite ruins our husbands for us. I think the lower house by far the greatest blow to a happy married life that there has been since that terrible thing called the higher education of women was invented.
Ah, that is heresy to say that in this house, Lady Markby. Robert is a great champion of the higher education of women, and so I'm afraid am I.
The higher education of men is what I should like to see. Men need it so sadly.
They do, dear, but I'm afraid such a scheme would be quite unpractical. I don't think man has much capacity for development. He's got as far as he can, and that is not far, is it? With regard to women, well, dear Gertrude, you belong to the younger generation, and I'm sure it is all right if you approve of it. In my time, of course, we were taught not to understand anything. That was the old system, and wonderfully interesting it was. I assure you, the amount of things that I and my poor dear sister were taught not to understand was quite extraordinary. But modern women understand everything, I'm told.
Except their husbands. That is the one thing the modern woman never understands.
Oh, and a very good thing too, dear, I dare say. It might break up many a happy home if they did. Of course, I need hardly say, Gertrude, you have married a pattern husband. I wish I could say as much for myself. But since Sir John has taken to attending the debates regularly, which he never used to do in the good old days, his language has become quite impossible. He always seems to think he is addressing the House, and consequently, whenever he discusses the state of the agricultural labourer, or the Welsh church, or something quite improper of that kind, I'm obliged to send all the servants out of the room. It is not pleasant to see one's own butler, who has been with one for 23 years, actually blushing at the sideboard, and the footman making contortions in corners like persons in circuses. I assure you my life will be quite ruined unless they send Sir John at once to the upper house. He won't take any interest in politics then, will he? The House of Lords is so sensible, an assembly of gentlemen. But really, in his present state, Sir John is a great trial. Why, this morning, before breakfast was half over, he stood up on the hearthrug, put his hands in his pockets, appealed to the country at the top of his voice. I left the table as soon as I'd had my second cup of tea, I need hardly say. But his violent language could be heard all over the house. I trust, Gertrude, Sir Robert is not like that.